blah. So for this, again, we said when you see a fraction, if it's like a root or a cubed root or there's ln of x, that usually creates a fraction, okay? But in this case, we just have sine of x and cosine of x, and it's a fraction. Usually u is going to either be the entire denominator or just the inside part of the denominator. So you should have, hopefully, for number 4, let u be cosine of x, because then du is going to be negative sine of x dx, which we see in the numerator. We just got to make it negative. So you can do that. You can put a negative 1 there and put a negative 1 outside here, right? Think of it like that. And that just becomes negative the integral of 1 over u squared du. And we said the whole point of u sub is so that when we do it, it turns into an integral that we can do with one of our rules. And this is power rule. This is the same thing as negative integral u to the negative 2 du, which is going to become u to the negative 1 divided by negative 1 makes this a positive out there, and then plus c. And since u was cosine, this is the same thing as positive 1 over cosine x plus c. And let's keep in mind here, what's 1 over cosine of x? It's secant of x plus c. True? So check this out. You guys might not like this. This, you don't have to do it this way, but this is another way that we could have done it. Okay, hopefully, do you guys agree that cosine squared in the denominator and sine in the numerator is the same thing as this fancy thing? Is that the same thing?
For some reason I brought it out.
Okay. When you brought it out of the integral?
Yeah.
You can't take it out of the integral because it has an x in it. Like anything with an x, you cannot move outside of an integral. Constants you can if they're being multiplied. All right. So anyway, this does become, as everyone likes to say now, sextanks. We can say it. Okay. And the integral of secant x tangent x is secant x, which is what we got originally anyway. It's just that way you didn't have to do a u du. But they're the same thing. Cool.